Hi guys, welcome and welcome back. Today's video is going to be about managing your emotions and hopefully reducing anxiety in the process. So let's just get on into it. One of the biggest causes of anxiety is actually feeling overwhelmed and getting too stressed out, right? Your brain just can't take any more stress or any more problems. Therefore, it kind of manifests into an anxiety disorder. Your brain's trying to protect you from overload, essentially, even though it's probably already reached it. So managing your emotions is incredibly important in terms of managing anxiety. In order to be able to look after your anxiety and your mental health, you need to be able to process your emotions in a healthy way. Naturally, therapy is like one of the most sought after things because you have a chance to really sit down with somebody who's qualified in that area, who knows what they're doing, and you end up on this journey of self-discovery, right? You sit down, you talk about things, they ask the right kinds of questions, they get the right kind of answers from you, and although you're doing the work to figure out exactly what's wrong and exactly how you feel and why you feel that way, they help you get there quicker. When we deal with emotions by ourselves, often we just try to shut it down and we try to ignore it and just move on. That's not really the best thing. However, obviously with the way things are going, we don't all have an opportunity to go see a therapist, whether it's a psychologist or a counsellor. So we have to find our own way, which doesn't involve shutting down. One of the best ways to process your emotions is actually to write it down. When we speak to other people, although that can be helpful, we often censor ourselves because we don't want to be judged, or we don't want to say the wrong thing, or we don't want to come across weird. Whereas when we write things down, we're writing it in a way that we can just be ourselves. Nobody else has to see it, nobody else has to read it, it's just for us. Being able to process things in a totally uncensored way helps us actually get to what the problem is really quickly. I found morning pages helps. I mentioned this before in journaling ideas kind of video, but basically every morning you just write whatever's on your mind, and then you realize that actually you've emptied out whatever was bugging you and you can just get on with your day. The same way actually journaling at night can also help, because you're processing everything that happened in the day, you're getting it off your mind, and you can just take the time, write it down, and then you'll usually sleep well. Not all of us want to sit there and journal all day though, because it does take time. I found for me it takes like half an hour to an hour, which not everybody really wants to spend writing down your thoughts and emotions. So something that can help is self-help. Ironically, like these little self-help workbooks, they often have guided worksheets that help specifically focus on a situation that has left you feeling stressed out. CBT workbooks are great for this because they really have the template, they have an example, and it's not having to journal everything, but it focuses on what happened, how you felt, how you handled it, how you wish you handled it, what you would do next time. Those sorts of things can really help process those emotions, to understand, how did that situation make you feel? What was one event that really bothered you and is impacting future events? Processing our emotions is really important because we learn more about ourselves and what bothers us, and it can take some digging to find out where a problem may have started, because you might think it's something simple. So say for an exam, you're super anxious, you're super stressed out, right? You could just put that down to pressure of the exam. That's natural, right? Everybody says it is because you're worried about failing, or it's a big moment in your life and it's high pressure. It's just normal to feel anxious. That might not be true for you. There might be some underlying reason as to why you're anxious. For a long time for me, I thought it was silence, really. And then the more that it got, it became more of a realization of agoraphobia, because in an exam you can't just get up and leave whenever you want. Then it's a case of trying to trace it back to, why do you feel that way? And then you look back at previous events. But once you understand that, then you can move forward with your life. Going back through like previous events is obviously helpful, but it's not the only thing that's for processing emotions. Obviously, something can happen today that really bothers you. So get it off your chest. A great way to process current emotions is, if it's involving a person, tell the person. Express yourself as best as you can. Tell them what's bothering you, what you don't like. Getting it off your chest straight away just cuts the accumulation short, because normally we won't say anything to the person, we don't want to be rude, we don't want to start an argument, but we'll go home, we'll carry it with us, and it will just be this massive burden that just escalates. I've met so many people who do that, really. They don't say how they're feeling at the time, which is understandable, but then they just keep replaying the situation over and over and over and over again. What I wish I said, how I wish this happened, how rude is that person, how annoying is that person. That doesn't make you feel better, actually. I mean, perhaps sometimes it can, but most of the time it doesn't help. The best way is to address it there and then. Say to the person, I really don't appreciate that comment. Or if you're trying to understand it, then ask, why do you feel that way? Why did you say what you just said? Try to gain an understanding, because if you realise that person is just toxic, then you know to avoid them, and it's done. There's nothing that you need to replay in your head. There's nothing that you need to keep going over and over again. So really, just to recap, the 3 best ways to process emotions. 1, speak to somebody about it, ideally a professional. 2, write it down, just to yourself. And 3, address it there and then so it doesn't build up. I hope you found it helpful. If you have, drop a like. Comment down below any other tips you have for processing emotions that you're feeling. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'll see you next time.